Again, I'm reacting to a lot of the things I've seen Chelsea fans tweeting, because I saw this tweet as well, which I thought was interesting, from one of the sort of your leading Chelsea fans, regarding John Duran, because Chelsea are now saying that they pulled away from John Duran because his character and his temperament was bad. And people like Alex Goldberg are basically saying this is lies, and he'd been rejected by Duran, and now it's about bad-mouthing him. And there seems to be a lot of Chelsea fans online, Don, that are not happy with what Clearlake are doing in terms of sort of the selling of players isn't generating the profits they expected. They've not gone after the right kind of profiles this January, as in top strikers, better goalkeepers. And even another decision that we saw today, which has upset Chelsea fans, which is the directors at your club are blocking Dazarsi's exit, which most can't make sense of.
Just to start off with that Alex Goldberg tweet, again, this is why I don't lose my head, bro. This is common knowledge from before Terry. I told you about this Duran guy. I said, apparently we pulled out of the move because of his temperament, his attitude or whatever. If you go back to the summer, he gave us the green light to come to Chelsea. I remember there was a massive hold up on it. We didn't end up going for him. I think the West Ham came in for him after that. So it's been old news. It's not new news that Chelsea didn't really like his attitude and that. It just came back up to, today or whatever, because obviously he's gone to Saudi. You know what I mean? So these people really need to actually see what's going on, because like I said, it's not new news. And then with everything that's going on with Clearlake right now, like I said, bro, listen, we've known from last season that we need a new striker. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't happy with paying over 300k a week for Osimhen, because I don't think he's worth that. You know, he's a striker that will get you goals, but at the same time, he's similar to Watkins, bro. He's not clinical, right? So if you're going to bring me a striker that's on 300k plus, you better bring me fucking Isak, bro. You better bring me Gokeres and these guys that can finish their chances more consistently. You know what I mean? And then, yeah, just right now, bro, like I said, it's a bit of a shit show, man. You're bringing in Felix, who at the time I was a bit skeptical about that move as well, because of so many attacking midfielders that we've got. You know, now bringing in Felix meant that Nkuku's having to play up top. You know what I'm saying? Already he's not happy because he's not getting any minutes. So now you're moving him to Villa. You've got Desarsi. I don't know what's going on with that move as well. It seems to be on hold at the minute. The squad building is the biggest problem, Terry, because we're signing some good players right now, but they're just not working out what we need at the right time, if that makes sense. Because we know we need a striker, you know. And for me, it's not fair that you've put Jackson in this position where he's drowning. We're basically trying to play him through bad form. It's nearly 10 games now where he hasn't scored, right? And you're looking at the bench. You've got Maresca doesn't want to trust Mark Gill, who for me, if he's there, just use him. You know what I mean? So there's no way we can leave Monday without bringing in a striker, because I don't want to be, you know, talking to you lot in the summer saying, yo, Jackson's missed all these chances and Gill's not getting the minutes. That's just going to piss me off. You know what I'm saying? So we need to bring in even Ferguson, bro. If you're going to bring in Ferguson, bring him in on a quick loan. The biggest concern I've got with Ferguson is his fitness, because finishing-wise, he's clean finisher, right? It's just the fitness that I'm worried about. You know what I'm saying?
This is my concern with Ferguson, because obviously we're apparently close to getting him. But I want a loan with an option, because he's had an ACL, he's had 2 ankle injuries. According to a Brighton fan, we know, shout out Maz, he's overcoming meningitis, which is still seem to be affecting him to this day. And £40 million, which apparently they're asking for, that's a big gamble for £40 million for an Evan Ferguson who's 20 years old, got all the potential, all the talent. But for one of our clubs to lay that down, and then his injuries persist and he's still looking lethargic because of the meningitis, that's concerning, man. That's a big risk. And especially Chelsea need to just get to this point as well now where they stop trying to sign these players to make marginal profits and squad build. Get players in that can guarantee make an impact. And Ferguson for Chelsea, we're at that point right now with us where we just need bodies in. I think Chelsea, I don't know, man. I think you need to look at some serious quality and try and get rid of all of these squad builders, small profit bargain hunters you were trying to get. It's just clear out.
But don't forget the biggest indication at the time, right? The biggest indication at the time was obviously going in for Omarodian. And I told you, look, I don't want Omarodian because, yes, he's good in the box, but overall game, I'm not convinced. He's got a touch of a trampoline, right? We moved away from him, who's a striker, and then we went and got Felix, right? And obviously that was to smoothen things out with Gallagher and whatnot. But when I sat there, because I was live on my channel, bro, I sat there live, it's gone past midnight, and I'm like, what the fuck? We didn't bring in a striker. So we brought in Felix. we've brought in basically Mark Gill, who I was concerned about minutes as well because he's only 18, and then we've got Jackson. So I was concerned about that area of the pitch up top. I was hoping Maresca would play Gill more. He's come out today saying he's going to trust him more. He's improving week by week and that, but I don't believe that shit, bro. Because when it comes to the games, he's not getting no minutes. He brought on in Cuckoo the other day for about half an hour, bruv.
Yeah.
No,
I get why you're not trying to get the Disasi thing. I understand from a Chelsea thing, because if you're just loaning Disasi and they didn't end up selling you Duran, then you're only benefiting Villa. Same with João Felix. I know they want João Felix. You end up loaning João Felix. Well, that weakens Chelsea and only benefits Aston Villa. So unless Aston Villa are going to throw some...
I don't know if it weakens Chelsea, though, because I'll be honest with you with João Felix. I know there's still a lot of people that put stock in him when he was 18 years old. He's just not a very good footballer. Technically brilliant, amazing on the eye, but he doesn't do anything. He doesn't impact enough games. This man has been to Ati for big money. He doesn't. This is where objectively, well, the end product for me as an attacker, the end product's poor. That means you're not a very good player. This isn't a kickabout in the park where you look amazing. It's professional football. It's like being a boxer that can bob and weave, looks brilliant shadow boxing, but can't outbox anyone and gets knocked out too easily and has no power in their punch. It might look like you're a good boxer, but are you a real good boxer in a fight? João Felix has been to Ati. They were happy to let him go. He's been to Chelsea twice, and both times it looks like you're happy to let him go. He went to Barca, and as much as people, he was so good there, they didn't want him. I think sometimes you've got to look at the objective truth of a situation. Very good technical football player, but I just think he underwhelms me because of the level of hype and expectation around him. I think he has massively fallen short of what his young potential suggested he would be. It's a
he's overrated. Yeah. For me, listen, I'm black and white with him, innit? Like, he's a good player, talented player, good on the eye and whatnot. Can be effective when he comes on off the bench and he's winning fouls for us. Because even when we played Bournemouth, Terry, that free kick we got, it was him that won the foul. You know what I'm saying? Progressing the ball forward, right? But I've always said, me and Jem have always said, because Jem don't like Felix at all. Yeah. And we've both always said
Jen knows ball. Jen knows ball.
His end product ain't great. That's the thing about Felix. His end product ain't great. And for me, I've seen enough from him for me to know that he will just never be a bagsman like that. I'll be honest with you. He will never be clean in front of goal. He
would you loan him to Villa then? Because there's two ideas.
I'm not loaning him. Sell him. If you're gonna get rid of him, sell him, bro. Sell him.
And that's it. People would say, okay, if you loan him to Villa now, there's a chance him getting minutes increase. Obviously, he's going to be a backup, but he'll get more time at Villa, and that will increase his value, and maybe they'll buy him. But the other hand is maybe he's exposed more. And then Villa at the end of it go, actually take him back now. It's the summer. We're going to spend this Duran money on someone else. So it's a risk.
The thing is with Felix, like it's not even a situation where he's been bad for us. He just hasn't really had it looking like that, man. There's been so many games, Terry, I've come on and I've told you that in-game management could have been better. Look at the bench. You bring on Felix for something different. He wants to keep Palmer on the whole game. So at the same time, I've got to look at Maresca like, cool, Maresca didn't want Felix. That came from above him. But whilst the players are there, make use of them, bro. Like I said, when you're playing these guys and you're playing your first 11, you might prefer their quality. But when these players start to get tired, they're not as effective on the pitch. That's the problem.
Yeah, I hear that. And look, maybe Felix will do better at a club like we saw when Lingard went to West Ham. And I mean, with respect to West Ham, very few teams in the Premier League play a low block against you or a very deep low block. There's more room to run into and play. So maybe with an extra split second or two of time around him, maybe you will see a better football player. So there is some mileage in him going to a team lower down. I mean, Villa, they're a good team, but going lower down the pyramid in the Premier League, getting more space to run into, more time on the ball, and there's a better outcome. And you have to sometimes look at that as a player. Sometimes it works the opposite way with defenders. When you play for the bigger teams, you're invariably isolated with high lines doing a lot of one-on-one defending. That same defender might be used to playing at Leicester, where he's sitting in a back three, very deep most games, very heavily protected, like Maguire. Comes to Man United, shit, I'm all by myself on the halfway line. It's a different type of defending. I think the same works for attackers in reverse, but I think the Ferguson move is again, if Chelsea go and get Ferguson, my gut feeling it, and I've been very complimentary of Clearlake at times. I've criticised their mistakes, but I've always said I can see what their vision is. Let's build a really good young core that can develop into a brilliant team. You've got some very good young players like Caicedo as an example, Cole Palmer as an example. I even understand the model of selling for profit. It's got to be more profit than you're selling the players for, because once you factor in wages, agent fees, signing on fees, if you're only making 2 million profit we bought him for 10 million euros, sold him for 12 million. When you factor in all the money it costs to actually get a player in, you're not really in reality making much profit. But I understood the model of buy young and we'll sell loads of players and make more money and reinvest it. Where I would be disappointed as a Chelsea fan this January is you were on the edge of a title race, and what you've needed, and you've every week over the course of this month, you've slipped further and further away from top spot. If you had Osimhen up front, if you had a very good guy, let's just take some if you had Dean Henderson in goal, there's no way you'd have fallen this far away from the title race. If you had Osimhen up front, I still think you'd only be 5-6 points off top. I really, really do. So I can understand why a lot of our Chelsea fans, are online fuming, because the team kind of surpassed expectations and was in a title race. And then the owners, instead of going, let's go and get the players that we now need, those players that are older, more experienced, try and get us over the line. They've gone, let's stick with Sanchez. Let's try and sign Garnacho. Oh, actually, let's take an injury-prone Ferguson who can't play for Brighton as our new striker. For me, that's the wrong move. At 2.5 years into your rebuild, that's the wrong move. It really is, in my opinion. I think it's wrong from your owners. They should be looking for experienced players from now that take you to another level, not just more kids, in my personal opinion.
Yeah. I mean, for January, listen, I was happy to take Giroud in it, because I told you before, like, we should have signed this guy. People were calling me delusional and whatnot. We should have signed him, right? Ferguson, like Lawless said, fitness concerns. But in this January, I'm trying to think of who else we can realistically bring in, because Sesko's not going to leave this January. You've got Gokeres, unless you trigger his release clause, and even then, he's in the middle of like a sort of title race, whatever they've got going on over there. I don't know if he'll want to leave right now, So looking at the options, there's not really many about Terry. It might just be a short-term fix till the summer, and then we go in for our real target up top. I think that's what their thinking is. But for me, we just can't leave this month without.
Are you happy with that? Are you happy with that approach? Because a lot of Chelsea fans give Arsenal stick for being next summer FC. Are you happy? Because when you say you couldn't get those players,
I'm triggering that release clause, bro.
But you're Chelsea Football Club. You've got Paul. You can turn heads. I think. You look at the Ollie Watkins deal. We're going to get onto that in a moment. I think if that £60 million bid goes in on the 1st of January, the outcome could be different by now. So you guys could turn Ollie Watkins' head. Chelsea could, barring top players at maybe Man City, Liverpool, United, and like Saka at Arsenal right now. There's very few players in the world who Chelsea couldn't turn the head of. So as much as it's difficult, unless there's stories that you tried and it was just impossible, you're Chelsea Football Club, and I'm not trying to condescend here, or you've got serious pull. I think Chelsea should have done much more this January and could have done it, in my personal
100%. View. That's why I'm waiting to see by Monday who we've actually gone in for. Because like I said, Neto, no one expected it. All of a sudden, we get that, here we go. So I'm going to wait till then, and then I'll say, do you know what? we fucked about. Because I don't know what these lot are doing in the background, bro.
No, I hear that. Leighton here said, here's an idea. Coach the players already at the club.
Yeah. I mean, listen, he's got a point. He's got a good point there. Because, Mark Gill should be playing more. You know what I'm saying? You can't be seeing Jackson missing all these chances and he's not being punished. It's like, you just go again. You just play again. You just play again. Come on now. It's not serious.
Ronan here said it's not worth bringing anyone in. Just stick to the plan.
Nah, man. We need players, bro. We need a striker. We need someone different that's a similar profile to Mudryk, because right now we're missing that profile on the team on the left. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to bring in a defender right now because Chalobah came back. Sanchez will most likely get dropped as well. I don't know if you lot have seen what Maresca said today. He basically said he hasn't decided who, but from what he's kind of saying, it sounds like he's going to drop Sanchez. So let's see what Jorgensen can do, man. Because for me, he's the better keeper.
I think you want to make sure that you get top 4, and that is the thing. That's why you need to strengthen, because top 4 is looking very competitive at the moment. Do you know what I mean? So I think you really want to be getting Champions League next season. I know it's 5th as well, but even then, is it 5th is going to get Champions League, isn't it, this year?
It looks like it. It looks like it because we've got such great coefficient points compared to other nations. Unless all the English teams flop in the first knockout round and all go out, it looks almost guaranteed from this point. The top 5 gets it. And listen, there's a chance that an English team wins a Champions League or Europa League as well. Which if Man United win the Europa League, then there'll be 6 teams in it next year, I think.
What? So 6th place will get. No.
Maybe if Man United win it, it will only be the top 4. Then maybe the team in 5th. That will be actually a brilliant one. Can you imagine if Man United or Spurs win the Europa League and the team that comes 5th? Then that's why you've got a guaranteed top 4. What I suppose that's actually right. Yeah, I was wrong.
And Chelsea is 6th at the moment, equal points with 7th place.
Very true. Brilliant. So until Man United and Spurs are out of that Europa League, you need to be aiming for top 4. You can't rely on that 5th place, because how gutting would that be to get 5th and then one of those 2 teams goes and wins, not just knocks you out the Champions League, but goes and look, it happened last year. Chelsea fans thought that we've got Europa, and then no one thought United were winning that Champions League, that FA Cup final, and bang, it changed it. So top 4 is what people.
If that happened again, if they got top 4, if they got 5th, sorry, it's like we're in Champions League and then Man United won the Europa League and put them out into that'd be funny.
Oh mate, what about this year? This is Tottenham are insisting on loaning Tomori and have overtaken Aston Villa in the race to get him. Now they need backup at the back. It looks like Dragusin's out as well. I mean, is this not someone that Chelsea should be looking at? Like, I know he's another player you got rid of, but he is much better than all your other centre backs.
I wouldn't say much better, man. Tomori is always a moment away from having a Bozo moment as well. And I'm not going to act like I watch Milan week in, week out, but he's been like that from the academy days as well, bro. He was a little bit suspect. So if it goes Tottenham, so be it. But Terry, don't be surprised if you're seeing this guy having some crazy moments at the back.
Okay.
Yeah.